Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Toy Shelf. I'm your host, Mitch Live, and today we've got a little bit of a double feature. We're going to look at two collections. So again, I'm going to recap for anybody who is joining us for the first time today. My name is Mitch Live. I collect action figures, and recently I had to move and I boxed up all my action figures. They've been in boxes for a couple months now. And as I acquired new pieces, I stopped opening them. I let them all kind of accumulate, and over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be opening some new toys, going through my collections, talking about my favorite pieces, how they got started, some interesting facts, and at the end of each episode, my toys will find a new home on one of my many shelves, and you will watch my collection grow and be restored to its former glory. It's going to be an epic journey that we're going on together. Now let's get right into it. Our first collection today is going to be from a little animated series called Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, it just came back with a fourth season. Cannot be more excited about it. It's the hilarious cartoon on Adult Swim by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. And let's dive right into some Rick and Morty figures. Of course, we got to start with the first figure from the series that I acquired. The titular characters, Rick and, of course, Morty. Now, this toy line is made by Funko. You might be familiar with Funko from their Pop vinyl series. But, contrary to popular belief, Funko rather, also makes good action figures that actually look like the characters. And now, I found these guys just on a shelf at EB Games. They were reasonably priced. I love Rick and Morty. I couldn't not get them. And just like every collection, it starts with a must-have piece, and you can't get Rick without Morty. So I have Rick and Morty. But in this series, they reward the people who purchase the whole collection, or rather they condemn people to purchase the whole collection, because it's one of those collections where every time you buy a figure, you get another piece for a bonus figure. So it's sort of like buy 5, get the 6th one free. And in this way, when you buy all the figures, you get Snowball, who was the super intelligent dog. Used to be the pet of the Smith family. Until Rick made him a little thing, made him too smart for his own good. So this is one of those ones where once I started buying them, I had to get them all. And they do make some really great figures and characters here. From the first wave, this is Mr. Meeseeks. Mr. Meeseeks is, of course, from one of my favorite episodes, and is a lot of Rick and Morty fans, one of their favorite characters. He's got that little gun there. And then the second wave comes out with another alternate version of Rick and Morty here. You see it is Purge Rick and Morty from the episode Look Who's Purging Now. Stand up there. And with the second wave, the figure that you collect from getting all the pieces is the intergalactic assassin Crumbopulous Michael. He just loves killing, and he's got his antimatter gun here. This gun shoots antimatter, right? Because my target can't be killed with regular matter. Here I go, killing again. That's just my Crumbopulous Michael impression. We've also got Squanchy here. Squanchy is one of my favorite characters. Oh, man. This show, actually, now as I go through my toys, they just make lovable, awesome friggin' characters. This one is a bird person, or should I say phoenix person, for anybody who follows the show. Of course, the Morty's sister Summer. Here are Rick and Morty's little accessories. That is a portal gun and just the regular like Zapper gun, whatever they call it. We got Scary Terry, the obvious Freddy Krueger knockoff. And then, of course, lastly, it is my favorite, another one of my, they're all my favorite, Mr. Poopybutthole. And you can see Mr. Poopybutthole, he, spoiler alert, gets shot at the end of his debut episode by Beth. And that is why this character here, he's got his cane and his bottle of pills there because he's in recovery. So this is the 2 waves. I'm sure with the new season coming out and with the show's popularity, I hope they make another wave because I will most definitely have to buy it. Now, so going back to their accessories here, you see this little portal gun and reel gun. I also have a portal gun and the little zapper there. Some fun accessories. And of course, this just came out this year, I think, the prototype gun. This is featured, I believe, in the first episode of the 3rd season when they've got Rick in prison. And they go back and they're trying to go back into his mind to find the moment where he created the plasma gun. But of course, it's all a trap, it's all a trick, because Rick is just too smart for them. And the very last piece from the Rick and Morty collection that I'm going to show you today, another instantly iconic character, Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick, of course, is the result of Rick trying to avoid having to go to therapy, so he turns himself into a pickle. Pickle Man! Sorry about my terrible impressions. If you stick around to the end of the episode, you'll get to hear a bunch of my terrible Rick and Morty impressions. So that is my Rick and Morty collection. And like I said, today is a double feature, so I'm going to go grab my next collection. So the next collection we're going to be looking at could be described as groovy, baby, yeah. Because it is Austin Powers. Of course, the figure I just put in front of me is not Austin Powers. This is Dr. Evil, and that is because this was the first piece in the collection. This is how my collection got started. Now, normally, my figure collections are based on some of my favorite movies and TV shows growing up. I cannot say that Austin Powers was one of my favorite growing up, but we were kids. It was slapstick humor at its mediocrity, and we enjoyed it as kids. I had a lot of laughs. Mike Myers is, revered for making some iconic characters, and holy crap, is this a quotable movie on the playground. We made stupid Austin Powers jokes. And of course, so I found loose. I think it was like $5, just in some random toy bin, but he had Mr. Bigglesworth with him. Mr. Bigglesworth is, of course, was his cat that lost all its hair after going into the coldness of space. It's like $5, like I said. He was reasonably priced. He made me laugh, so I grabbed him. And then once I grabbed him, I was at another toy show somewhere, and I found Mini-Me. And, like, look at these two. What a pair. You can't have Dr. Evil without Mini-Me. So that's how it started. It started with Dr. Evil and Mini-Me, and then, of course, I was in. I haven't seen any from Goldmember, but here we have Fat Bastard from Austin Powers 2. Austin Powers, the Spy Who Shagged Me. He has got his bagpipes there. Of course, the titular character, Austin Powers. See him with his chain, sort of his pimp outfit. Oh, that's his little feathered hat. Oops. And, of course, he's got a little pimp cane that he holds as well. Who else we got? They make some of the female leads from... there's Vanessa Kensington from the first one. She wants to stand. Yep. We've got, of course, a Fembot. Bring in the Fembots! We have got Scotty Evil, Dr. Evil's rebellious son, played by Seth Green. And I gotta say, the The accuracy of these figures is pretty good. You could definitely tell they are definitely designed after the actors who play these figures, and they look pretty good. And of course, that is because this collection is made by McFarlane Toys. McFarlane Toys, when I was growing up, was synonymous with two things. It was sports action figures and Spawn action figures. And these figures were detailed beyond belief. They were just out of this world. I would say that McFarlane is just one of the pioneers of collectible high-end action figures. They make a few of my collections. They make some of my favorite figures in my collection. And surprisingly, they make some silly ones like Austin Powers, but good on them. They did a good job. Here's another female character. Felicity Shagwell. Shagwell by name. Shag very well by reputation. And let's see what else have we got. I think that might be it. We have a little skunk, which of course Mini-Me kills or finds this dead skunk and leaves it in Scotty's bed because they just don't get along. Scotty don't. And that is it for the terrible Austin Powers references. And now we're moving on to a segment, my favorite segment of every episode when there is one, that new toy smell. That is when I open a brand new box, brand new figure. Today, I got a special edition of Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. This is from the second movie. And they're wearing their foil-looking metallic jumpsuits on their secret moon lair, I think. And they've got the little power cart that they drive around in. It's got a pretty cool background in there, too. And I think it makes sounds. He talks. So we're going to see what it sounds like. If it's complete shit, we're going to open them up, have a look. I just need my handy dandy toolkit. I really reckon this background because it looks pretty cool and I might want to keep it. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that is pretty cool. They got a little pull tab. Oh, a button to make it work. I gotta pull this little tab out first. All right, let's give her a listen. That's Mini-Me. He fits conveniently into most overhead storage bins. Classic line. Can somebody put a frickin' bell on him or something? Well, he's pretty cool. I like the new addition to my collection. He's gonna fit in quite nicely. He is a double, but that's okay. I get doubles sometimes. And, well, that's it for today's episode. It's time to go find these guys a home on the shelf. Thanks for watching, and remember, you're never too old to play with toys.
I am willing to admit it, that I got myself into a mess, and I get myself out of that mess.
I don't get phone calls all the time saying, Morty, you gotta fly the spaceship over here.
You know what, Morty?
I go talk to these weird space aliens.
I don't need to put up with this, Morty.
That's right. I bail you out of problems all the time, and I'm sick of it, so fuck you, Rick.
Okay, just go then. Yeah, no, I know.
I'm out. I don't even care. I'm out. I'm done with this.